Welcome to the Literary Apothecary. My name is Kate, and today I'm here to talk about Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood by Trevor Noah. Now, this one was a reread for me. This is Trevor Noah's memoir about basically growing up in South Africa as a half-black, half-white kid. And I loved this the first time. I loved it the second time. I listened to this with John on our Tennessee bookstore road trip, and it was kind of the perfect book for that road trip. First, let's talk about my general thoughts about this book. As I said, this was my second read. This was John's first time reading it. We listened to the audiobook version on our road trip. I absolutely loved it, but I've loved it both times that I've read it. Trevor Noah is a born storyteller. He's a natural storyteller. I will listen to any of his books. I need more books from Trevor Noah like this because he is so engaging as a storyteller. John's review for this was that this was the best book he's ever read. He loved how even though his life and Noah's life are wildly different, there are still a lot of similarities that had him reflecting on his own experiences that he didn't think he would get going into this book. Let me give you a spoiler-free description of what this memoir is all about. Trevor Noah, one of comedy's world's fastest rising stars and host of The Daily Show, well, now past host of The Daily Show, tells his wild coming-of-age story during the twilight of apartheid in South Africa and the tumultuous days of freedom that followed. In this Audible Studios production, Noah provides something deeper than traditional memoirists. Powerfully funny observations about how farcical political and social systems play out in our lives. A quote from Trevor Noah's book. Nelson Mandela once said, "If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that he goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart." He was so right. When you make the effort to speak someone else's language, even if it's just basic phrases here and there, you are saying to them, I understand that you have a culture and identity that exists beyond me. I see you as a human being, and that just resonated with me so much. Attuned to the power of language at a young age, as a means of acceptance and influence in a country divided, then subdivided into groups at odds with one another, Noah's raw, personal journey becomes something extraordinary in audio, a true testament to the power of storytelling. With brutal honesty and piercing wit, he forgoes an ordinary reading and instead delivers something more intimate, sharing his story with the openness and candor of a close friend. His chameleon-like ability to mimic accents and dialects, to shift effortlessly between languages including English, Xhosa, and Zulu, and to embody characters throughout his childhood. His mother, his his schoolmates, first crushes, and infatuations brings each memory to life in vivid detail. Hearing him directly, you're reminded of the gift inherent in telling one story and having it heard, of connecting with another and seeing them as a human being. The stories Noah tells are, by turns, hilarious, bizarre, tender, dark, and poignant, subsisting on caterpillars during months of extreme poverty, making comically pitiful attempts at teenage romance in a color-obsessed world, thrown to jail as the hapless fall guy for a crime he didn't commit, and thrown by his mother from a speeding car driven by murderous gangsters, and more. Now let's talk about my rating for this book, my review. We got John's review. The writing style, Trevor Noah's writing style, was easy to follow and feel along with it, which is hard to do sometimes just on audiobook alone. We were able to follow it while driving through the mountains of Tennessee, and I was able to feel it even though my life is very different than Trevor Noah's life growing up. Content. Noah balanced writing about history, politics, religion, and his personal life in such a well-done way. It was informative, reflective, serious, and humorous all at once, and it never felt overwhelming to me. Enjoyment. I loved everything about this. This is my second time reading it, and it won't be the last time that I read it, but I know going forward, I'm going to be reading this on audiobook every time. I read it on ebook the first time, and it was really good, but it wasn't nearly as good as it was on audio. Listening to Noah tell his stories to you like he would just a friend. Trevor Noah, as I said, is a born and natural storyteller, and it shows dramatically in this book. Audiobook narration, of course, Noah did an amazing job narrating this book. He put audiobook narration up on a whole different pedestal here. His pacing was fantastic and easy to follow along. His intonations were on point, and as it said in the description, he even altered his voice a bit for each of the characters, and especially his mother. I loved when his mother came on the page. She was a character in her own right. She was so interesting. I would read a whole book just about her alone, but Trevor Noah imitating his mother in this book about his childhood was some of the best parts of this book. If you have read Born a Crime, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of it? As always, keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.